You are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast.
What's going down, guys? It's your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. You guys must forgive me, my voice. I just woke up. I also have a stuffy head, my ears, all of that shit, man. So just bear with me on this podcast if you don't mind. But I want to talk about Dragon Ball Super, guys. Yes. I want to talk about episode 127 and everything that happened in this episode, man. They always leave you hanging with a question, it seems like, as of late especially, man. That's just my opinion. We're going to get into that, guys. 17 with his sacrifice, he sacrificed himself to save Goku and Vegeta, man. And I'm just going to say it right now. I'm going to say it right here. I now know why 17 was kept in the tournament. I questioned that shit, a while back because, from the outside looking in, guys, if you were to tell any Dragon Ball fan that Android 17, whether you loved him or you hated him, same thing with Gohan. If you told a Dragon Ball fan, your average Dragon Ball fan, that in Dragon Ball Super, towards the end of the tournament, 17 would be left in and Gohan would be left out, you would be looking at yourself in the mirror and trying to make sure you weren't, smoking any sherm sticks or drinking any sake. That's just... it's just normal. You would want to know. And I, for one, was one of those people. But now I understand, I see the light, and I understand what they had in their back pocket, what they were trying to do. Because they had to do this. They almost had to. If they didn't play out 17's role as they played it out at the end of Superman, there would be a lot of pissed off people. There still probably are. If you're a Gohan fan, you're probably a little pissed, man. You know what I mean? That's just keeping it real. But for the most part, you can at least respect what they did with 17 now. At least I can, because I was really on the fence on that. I was like, why are you guys keeping 17 in? And, you got Gohan out sitting on the sidelines and he's supposed to be a Saiyan and, all this shit. And I don't know what is going on with 17, but 17 is fucking wet. He earned my respect. And when I say wet, for the new listeners who don't know what that means, it means amazing and highly skilled. WETT is a term that I came up with and I use it a lot. If you check out my YouTube channel, a lot of my videos, I use it. Yeah, man, he's fucking wet. I give him his respect. He was really fucking strong, man. 17 was. So I have a lot of new respect for 17. I know there's a lot of 17 fans out here in these Dragon Ball streets, and cause I can taste the salt, in some of the forums when it comes to Dragon Ball fighters, but which is crazy. But look, Xenoverse, the DLC, when it drops, he will be available. So, that version of 17 will be available. So I'm interested to see how he's going to play. Jiren's going to be in there. So, it'll be a good time to switch up. But let's jump back on to Dragon Ball Super first, and then we'll trickle some of the talk, down upon the other aspects of just things Dragon Ball. But yeah, man, the episode started out pretty motherfucking dope. The animation was pretty on point. It was pretty good. I must admit. The action, everything the way that the episode panned out, for the most part, it panned out. It was spot on. I'm not I don't have anything really negative to say except for one thing when it comes to this episode. And I'll get to that in a minute. But the episode started out epic as fuck. Vegeta and his stubborn ass, you know what I'm saying, rushes Jiren. And you can tell, I don't know if it's just me or not, but, you could tell he's, from that fight with Topo that, he's gotten a little stronger. That made him a little bit stronger, in my opinion. That's just what it feels like. Now, like I said, Jiren is in a league of his own. He's still, I don't know what the fuck this dude is drinking or eating, but he's wet squared. You know what I mean? So, they fought very, very hard, against him. It was all three. It was 17. It was Vegeta. It was Goku. There was 3-on-1 at times. It was 2-on-1 at times, and sometimes it was even 1-on-1 at times. And all of this shit happened in this episode. Okay, you had 17, alone fighting Jiren, and you had Vegeta doing the same. And it was crazy. Even Goku. So everybody got a chance to, see what they could do all together, single, and it's just not happening. Now, 17 did land a nice fucking blow in the back of Jiren, and which really pissed Jiren off, man. He was really hot after that. And caught him in the back, fucked up his suit in the back, left a big ass hole in the back. And, I was kind of happy to see that. But like I said, Jiren is my favorite character in Dragon Ball Super. So, he's a fucking beast, man. All I did was piss him off, though. But anyway, guys, pretty much is what happened is everybody tried to take out Jiren. And I had completely forgotten about Frieza. Okay. I was like, the way that they played this episode, which is good. If they make you forget about characters, that's how you know the episode was fire. And that's what they did. I completely forgot about Frieza, which it happens to be one of my favorite characters. So for them to make me forget him like that, that was a fucking good job. They killed it. But he came out of nowhere. He surprised it. But Frieza just jumps out. Everybody else is laid out. Okay. Jiren has Vegeta, Goku, and 17 laid out. And out comes Frieza out of the blue, trying to, I guess, fight Jiren. And, he's cocky, he's prideful. We all know Frieza is all of those things. And he basically was telling Jiren, I'm not going to let you get away with what you did to me. You think that you can just do what you did to me and handle me like that? And I'm just going to walk away clean? So, Jiren knocked his ass into the wall. Frieza got pissed. He went golden. I'm thinking, oh shit, Frieza about to, No, sir. No, sir. Frieza was handled accordingly. Okay. He got his ass handled. All right. In 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, he was asleep. Now, he got fucked up so bad though. I don't know. I don't know if he's still breathing, but we'll get to that in a minute. But he handled him quickly, man, quicker than anybody else. Nobody else had a fight. And it's telling me that, like Frieza's the weakest link right now, even weaker than 17 in his golden form, out of these last few guys. Now, look, then here comes like the shit that, interested me, the most on the episode. We finally get a piece. We finally get a taste of Jiren's backstory. We finally get to dive in to see what makes Jiren Jiren. You know what I mean? And it was a tragic story. It was a story of love and lost, with his parents and, what happened. Now, what's got me curious is the fact that let me just break down what happened real quick. I'm sure most of us listening knows, but this is what I gathered from this episode on his backstory. Okay. He was, as a kid, he came home and he found, his parents murdered. Right. And basically somebody found him, and rescued him, basically, took care of Jiren as a child and, trained him, taught him how to fight, taught him how to be stronger. And, Jiren as a kid was using that motivation, to get stronger, for his parents and trying to find the guy or whoever it was who murdered them. And, he got a little older and, I guess he found out where this guy was, and he tried to get revenge. And he got a lot of people to follow him into this battle, and everybody died. He got everybody killed, and he was still left alive. But even his mentor, the guy who was taking care of him, he perished in that fight as well. So Jiren still didn't give up. He tried to gather some more people behind him and do it again. But after what happened last time, they were like, nah, fuck that. You're not putting our lives on the line. It's too dangerous out here in these Dragon Ball streets. We're not doing it. So Jiren was basically like, well, the only thing that people understand is strength, is power. So that's what he basically just went into his, she shut down emotionally. He shut down emotionally, and he just focused on those things. And with that, with great power, came, comrades and everything like that. But he doesn't look at those comrades the same as he did before, because he was in a different mindset. So now he's just kind of like, fuck everything mindset. It's all about this power. And, shit, I'm gonna keep it real. I mean, his motherfucking ass is wet now because of it. Now, this is the question that I have, and I've been asking myself, who is this motherfucker that, took out his parents and, took out, all his friends and everything like that? Because, I'm guessing Jiren's race, they're strong by, they would have to have some kind of strength. I mean, your body's going to let you get, only so powerful. You know what I mean? And I think that his race is pretty strong. But whoever this guy was, he must be really fucking amazing. He must be off the chain when it comes to strength and power. And if Jiren is out here making a wish to try to get this motherfucker killed, he must be potent. Because think about it, like, has Jiren at this level, has he met back up with this guy? Evidently not. But why is he wishing, what is he wishing for with these Dragon Balls? He wants this guy killed. He wants his revenge. I mean, what? I don't know. Does he need the Dragon Balls for that? Is this guy that powerful? I mean, that brings a lot of questions into the air, guys. I mean, where they could go with the next arc, if this still is going to remain Super. I mean, there's only a few episodes left. I think we have like 4 episodes left. So, I mean, but hey, I didn't think they were going to be able to tell what they told in this amount of time. I didn't think it was enough time. But after watching this episode, I mean, they did a pretty fucking good job of fitting a lot of this shit into this one episode. I think this is why I like this episode so much, because they did a lot in this episode. I mean, a lot of shit happened. So the sacrifice of 17. I mean, they got Jiren's backstory out of the way. I mean, they had some good fight scenes. A lot of things happened in this episode, and I liked it because of that. But yeah, man, I mean, his backstory is pretty interesting. I mean, it's your typical backstory of, the wounded warrior. It's your typical story, but I mean, it's good to know that he had one, and it's good to know that they finally shed some light on it. And, I'm sure they could delve a little deeper, and maybe they will. But, right now this is enough to quench my thirst, especially with only like 4 episodes left. I just wanted to know why he really wanted those Dragon Balls, because somebody that strong, like, I mean, it seems like he could. I mean, he's rivaling gods in power. Actually, fuck that. He's not rivaling them. He's even stronger than gods. So, I mean, what do you need Dragon Balls for that you can't take care of yourself? You know what I mean? Which brings me back to that question. This guy must be on another plateau. But like I said, guys, before, at the very beginning of Super, they explained to us all that there are other universes that exist that are more powerful than the universes that participated in this tournament. Everybody in this tournament, all the universes in this tournament, those are the weakest of the weak. Okay. So, I mean, you gotta believe, or I gotta believe that they're gonna use those other universes, somewhere down the line in the future, going forward with the next arc, whether it be still continuing as Super, or whether it be Dragon Ball something else. You know what I mean? A continuation. I gotta believe that. And that's what I'm gonna continue to believe. But this was a great episode. But which brings me to my next thing, the only thing I didn't like about this episode, which Frieza is the one who got me wondering, got me answering questions. I don't know if this was on purpose. I don't know if this was, intentionally or not, but, there's some people talking about Frieza died. But, when 17 sacrificed himself, when Jiren was trying to basically blow everybody the fuck up, he basically gave Vegeta and he gave Goku a protective shell, so they could survive 17 self-destruction, I guess, technique or tactic or whatever he used. So I guess 17 basically, destroyed itself, blew itself up, with an attempt to, take out Jiren or just protect, the rest of the fighters. But if you notice, Frieza was not in that equation. Frieza was not there. He did not use that for Frieza. Frieza got handled. He got laid out. He got slept. Whatever word you want to use, he got his ass handled accordingly. But, I thought, he was just asleep. He was just knocked out. You know what I mean? Now, could Frieza have been dead if he didn't use that on him? Or could he just not give a fuck about Frieza and just say, it is what it is with Frieza? You know what I mean? Because, and then on top of all of that, you can call it a plot hole or whatever, because there was no other mention of Frieza after that. After that happened, 18 was, he was upset about 17, of course, risking his life. Vegeta and Goku gave 17 his respect and all of that. But there was no mention of Frieza, and we don't know where he is. So now we're sitting here right now looking at Jiren, looking at Vegeta, and looking at Goku. These are the only ones left. I'm like I said, I say Frieza, but nothing happened. You didn't see Frieza, disappear and then wake up on the sideline like, everybody else who gets eliminated. So I don't know. Is he still there? Is he still somewhere around? I mean, it's really got me wondering. But right now I'm just going to assume that, he's not in here. He's not here, and hope that maybe we reach what happens to him in a minute, because we get a glimpse of the next episode. And, look, if you're a Vegeta fan like me, then you fucking know, you were dreading these words. You were dreading the next, episode if you saw what was going to happen, if you got a glimpse of it. And, it's basically saying Vegeta's fall. Okay. He's going to fall. I'm assuming that this is going to be the next episode where he basically gets eliminated from the tournament. And, it is what it is. I don't want to believe that's going to happen, but it's telling. And what most people thought it was going to be, it looks like it's going to be that. In other words, it's going to probably be Goku versus Jiren in the end, is what it's probably going to be. Vegeta, surprisingly though, from using that move, that technique that he used the last episode, to basically to try to sacrifice himself, and he ended up living, you know what I mean? The final explosion, that took a lot out of him, but he still had something in the tank, because he was going in, on this episode. He was neck and neck with Goku in 17. But, I'm assuming that, his tank is pretty much empty now. And, Goku does have more in the tank than him, but it's just not looking good, man. It's just not looking good for anybody, in Universe 7. I mean, I think we've all seen, and we all know now that, Jiren, he's not going to be beaten, in your typical way. And with Vegeta gone, with Frieza gone, with 17 gone, with him the only one being left, I mean, Goku can't, I don't see it happening. If Goku beats Jiren, okay, I'm going to be a little upset. I'm going to be rubbed the wrong way a little bit, because it's to me, it's going to be too Hollywood. It's going to be too over the top, too Sylvester Stallone, too, for me, I mean, I know he's a poster boy. I know this, you know what I mean? But I just don't see how Goku is going to beat him and it be believable. You know what I mean? I just don't see it. I mean, unless he unlocks another, he reaches a new level. And I mean, but still, all the shit is happening on the cusp. Vegeta unlocked a new level. Goku's been unlocking new levels on the fly, on the cusp, though. It's not like, okay, I learned this. I've went to another. I've attained a new form. Okay, let me hone this. Let me learn how to make this better. And, let me learn the ins and outs of it. Kind of like how, Goku did when he turned, when he did Super Saiyan 2 and with the hyperbolic time chamber and all that shit. But, all this is happening on the fly. So everything is still new. Like, Vegeta doesn't know how to use all of his powers completely. You know what I mean? He's running off of pure pride and, that's it. So I don't know, guys. It's going to be interesting to see because, like I said, there's still 4 more episodes left. Okay, we're talking about 131 being the final episode here. So 4 episodes. You saw what they were able to put into this last episode. They put a lot of shit in this episode. A lot. So, I mean, what will they put in these last 4 episodes? Will it all be, focused on power, or will it be one episode where, they take the time to let everybody know what's going to happen next? And I'm interested. I'm interested to find out, man, how this is going to pan out, because it's only like a few minutes left, at 4 episodes, 3 minutes. So I'm guessing they're taking a minute per episode now. So I'm guessing 3 more episodes of fighting or the tournament. And then, that last episode is like, what's to come next? Where are we going now? How are they going to leave us with Super? I can't wait to see, guys. But at the same time, I don't want it to end, especially as of late, because it's been really good. Really since around episode, 121, 122, man, it's been on and popping ever since. So, I mean, with that being said, that's pretty much the episode of Dragon Ball Super, guys. What do you guys think? What are you excited for? I mean, this is all we're going to get. Once it's over, we won't see any more Dragon Ball until, December. And that is the movie. But as far as the show, I'm assuming you might as well just go ahead and mark it in. It's going to be next year, 2019 sometime. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm still watching Kai. Because like I said, I've never seen Kai. I'm watching it. It's pretty good. That's another episode. I will definitely get into that. But and then I will go back around to the beginning of Super, and I will start it over, and catch the English dub and watch it over and watch it through or whatever. And that'll be something to do until the movie comes out, and then of course we find out more about the actual show and when it'll be coming out or whatever, because it is not going anywhere, guys. Trust me. All right, let's keep it. I'm telling you right now, don't be paranoid. Don't be upset. It's not going down like that. Dragon Ball is here and it's not going anywhere. Okay, so let's rest our weary heads on that. But yeah, so that's where I think I'm gonna leave it, guys. I mean, this episode, I had no time for gaming talk too much because, I know, man, winding down to, the last few episodes of this beautiful series, I feel that it deserves, most of the time, most of the podcast time. And like I said, 4 more episodes. And then, we'll come back around to this and we'll talk about, everything that's happened and where we're going. We should know a lot more after that. And, we'll continue it on that way. And then I'll, do a little bit more gaming talk in this. And to be honest with you, I haven't had time to play a lot of games. The only game that I have been playing is Dragon Ball Fighters and a little bit of Assassin's Creed. And just when I say a little bit, I mean a little bit, because like I said, I'm still learning to play this beautiful game. And then also, Shadow of the Colossus just came out not too long ago, and I haven't even had time to pick that up. And if you guys know me, you know that is my number one. That is my all-time favorite game of all time. Okay. And I still haven't had a chance to pick that up yet. So, I've got a real heavy backlog, piling up here on games, and, it's all good. It's all good. At least I'll always have something to play. But, that's going to be a wrap for this episode, guys. I want to thank everybody for listening. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, you can always hit me. I'm available, in the media. You can go to the Facebook page at Studio MacGyver. You can hit me on Twitter at Studio MacGyver. You can also hit me on Instagram at Studio MacGyver79. If you want to email me, if you have, for any reason, you can also do that at Studio MacGyver Music with a K at yahoo.com. With that being said, guys, I'm going to get up out of here and leave you guys alone. Finally, it was a good talk. I got a lot off my chest. This was a very good episode. And, I want to thank everybody again for listening. I want to say that I love each and every one of you. And thank you for supporting this guy right here. Every week, there will be more to come. I put out content every day on my YouTube channel. So please feel free to check that out. Just go and type in Studio MacGyver TV and bask in the ambiance. But yeah, with that being said, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I love you guys. You have been listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.